Good afternoon. It's time. It's time for yet another NFL Bucky's Mill Day. But not just any Bucky's Mill Day, no. This is MC's and Bucky's first all team 31. The Dolphins aren't picking. NFL mock draft round one. Version 1, Bucky. Say hi, Bucky. Bucky says hi. This is Mike C, of course, the host. Bucky's the star as always. We've got our mock draft now. A little bit different because normally I just print them out and it takes like maybe 10 minutes and I write them all out because I couldn't get the darn thing to print out. So I'm going to work on that and see which ones I can actually print out. You have to sign in, whatever. I know it's more difficult than it was the last couple of years. But if we have to write them out, we have to write them out, Bucky. We'll just do it that way. Not a big deal. Before I start, on a somber note, it's been 4 years since my beautiful former girlfriend passed away. That was Cheryl, and you've heard me mention her name before. It put into motion me leaving Superior, where I'm from, of course, and moved to Pittsburgh with my very, very good friend Shelly, and then consequently back, well, not back here, but to Nebraska with Carla. But she passed away 4 years ago, and I miss her. She was beautiful. She was very smart. She loved anything medical. She was a nurse's aide. She loved helping people. She was funny. She had a beautiful personality. And of course, physically, she was beautiful. She had beautiful hazel eyes, her best feature. And she was difficult at times, but I loved her very much, and I always will. So this first round draft is in honor of her, paying homage, and I miss her. I love her, and I'll see her again. Okay, Bucky. Before I started, I checked on last week's video. We had 14 views, which is not bad considering we did it on Tuesday. I'm assuming we could have got a lot more if we had done it on Monday. So this one should be better. Yeah, it better be better. And I hope I haven't gone over it yet. So we're going to see if we can, we're not going to spend too much time because otherwise it's going to be way too long. But it's going to be hard because I wrote them down. My eyes are a little fuzzy because my glasses need changing. But we're going to get through it, Bucky. All right, no trades. The first time you do this is no trades. Maybe next time it'll be at least one trade, maybe more. But I like to keep it clean as possible. I picked every team as what I would pick, which you can only do because you can't think what other people are going to, pick their picks. So that's kind of pointless, I believe. So we're going to see what we got here. All right, Bucky. As Bucky's got his Lions helmet going on there. All right. The number one overall pick. I've got Jalen Carter, defensive lineman from Georgia. I think he's the number one player in the draft myself. And Bears always need help on defense. And it's an obvious pick for them. Now, there's rumors. I'm not going to spend too much time. Might trade their quarterback, pick another quarterback. I don't see that happening. They might trade their pick to somebody else. That I can see happening. That probably will happen. We'll wait for that actually to happen, or at least until the next time we do this. Because next week we'll do just Lions picks again. And we might not do 5 like last time. It seemed a lot. We'll figure that out later, Bucky. We don't waste too much time. The second pick is the Texans. They will go for quarterback Bryce Young from Bama. Is he the number one quarterback? Probably, most likely. His only drawback is his size, and that is a concern. And but he's got the brains for it. He's got an NFL arm, good enough arm. And would I pick him at that? Well, I did pick him, so obviously I did, Bucky. Third overall pick, the Cardinals. Go with edge. Will Anderson, if the Bears pick him, then they'll go with Jalen Carter. They don't need a quarterback, even though their quarterback is injured right now. But so Will Anderson from Bama. Colts are up next, and they went for quarterback C.J. Stroud from the Ohio State. Rumors they'll trade up to one. There might be a lot of quarterback action in the first 5 picks, which is great news for the Lions because somebody's going to fall if that happens. And it could happen because the draft, they get quarterback crazy. And that's perfectly fine with me. Next up, the Seattle Seahawks went with edge. Tyree Wilson, he's projected a lot to them. Tall, long arms. He can play inside or outside. The Lions could pick him if he's there. Texas Tech is where he is from. At number 6, the Lions, I went with edge. Myles Murphy from Clemson. Now, he's dropped in some mocks. Like I mentioned last week, players fluctuate. They go up and down. And so I'm not worried about that. It's my draft. I can pick whoever I want. The next pick, I almost said Oakland. The Las Vegas Raiders select quarterback Will Levis from Kentucky. Now, he's a plug-and-play quarterback. He's ready to go. He had virtually no help last year. The year before, he was very good. But last year, he lost his receiver and I believe an offensive lineman. But the Raiders always do an unconventional pick, and this one certainly falls into that category. Next up, we have the Falcons. Some picks are easier than others. This is a tougher one. I went with wide receiver Quentin Jones from TCU. They just need weapons. I don't think they have a lot, and I think he's the best wide receiver on the board. So then I went with the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly Eagles fly. I went with cornerback Devon Witherspoon from Illinois. We call it the Illini Bucky. In some mocks, he's the number 1 rated corner. He's a little smaller. I'm not sure about his speed. So after the combine, which starts this week, Bucky, very excited about that. This is pre-combine mock draft. So we'll see what he can do. He's not my number 1 personal favorite, but we'll see. Then I've got the Titans, the offensive tackle, Paris Johnson from the Ohio State. They need help on their offensive line, and mostly he's rated the number 1 offensive tackle. I've got the Texans are back on the board, and I've got them picking offensive tackle / guard Peter Skoronski from Northwestern. Short arms. He'll be moved to guard. They need offensive line help, and he's the best guard available. Next up, Jets. Tough pick. I went with Broderick Jones, offensive tackle from Georgia. I need to do a little more research on the Jets, on who they need. But you can always use offensive tackle, kind of the best player available at this point. Then I got the Patriots. I went with wide receiver Jordan Addison, a wide receiver. I think it's from USC, I believe. I didn't write that down. Typical Patriots pick. Another team, tough team to pick for. They do the unorthodox, so don't expect them to pick a weird pick. But for now, I went with the wide receiver. Next up, the Packers. This one's mocked almost always a tight end, Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. And fits perfectly. They need offensive line help to block. He's not a huge blocking tight end, but he needs some weapons for Rodgers, who came back from his 5-day think tank deprivation vacation. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But he's a very good player, and Rodgers always needs weapons. Then I got the Commodores. I got cornerback Cam Smith from South Carolina, kind of the best player available. We have a run on cornerbacks. Oh, here comes Suki. Hi, Suki. Hi, baby. Can you say hi, huh? I get kiss? I get kisses. All right, then I've got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have cornerback Joey Porter Jr. from Penn State. Another one that's projected for them all the time. but he fits their scheme. He's not the fastest one out there, but he's tall and he fits their personality. His dad played there. Blah blah blah. Everybody knows that. The Detroit Lions are up again. I went with, this is a tough one. I had 2 or 3 other players I could have picked, and I went with cornerback Christian Gonzalez from Oregon, my favorite player, favorite corner. Did I manipulate the draft? Well, I mean, I could have picked him, obviously earlier, but I just like him there for the Lions. He's tall, he's fast, he's a good hitter, get interceptions. I think with Witherspoon, he had no interceptions. That kind of bothers me. Next up are the Bucks. I've got defensive interior. I got safety. I read it wrong. Brian Branch from Clemson. Kind of a best player available for that one. Bucks are tough to pick for. Ever since Brady left, it's like, they need a lot of players. Then I got the Bolts. I've got Brian Brise, or Brazi, or I got something figure out the guy's name. Interior offensive lineman from Clemson. Either that or an offensive tackle or offensive lineman for them, but I just figured they needed help on the defense, and he kind of just snuck up on me. The Ravens, I've got Jalen Wyatt, a wide receiver from Tennessee. Speed. Ravens are always looking for speed from their wide receivers, so I went with him. The Minnesota Vikings, I checked all their kickers and almost pulled the trigger on that one, Bucky. I know it's a running joke I've had for years and years. But against my better instincts, I went with edge. Lucas Van Ness from Iowa, LVN they call him. He's also either a linebacker or an edge, kind of a mixture. A very good player and a local guy, kind of, so it made sense. Then I got the Panthers. I went interior offensive lineman Cyrus Torrence from Florida. Not a big name. But again, they need help on the offensive line, to protect their quarterback and for a better blocker. So his name just kind of popped up at me. Then I've got the Giants. I have Kylie Ringo, cornerback from Georgia. Big, tall. He's like 6'2" or something like that. He's been dropping a little bit, but again, like I said, players fluctuate all the time. I've got the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Zay Flowers, wide receiver from Boston College. Speed. That's his forte. It's kind of a Cowboys pick. They like speed. I got I gotta move this sheet a little bit here, Bucky. It's getting kind of close. I've got the Buffalo Bills. I've got linebacker Trenton Simpson from Clemson. More defense. They could use offensive line, but best player available, and he seemed to be a fit for the Bills. I've got the New Orleans Saints. I got edge BJ Ojolari from LSU. Need a quarterback, but they're not going to draft one. They're going to get free agency probably. Again, BPA. Then I've got the Eagles fly. Their second pick. I've got running back Bijan Robinson from Texas, and they got 2 great picks. And the Eagles are going to be tough the next few years. The Super Bowl might be going through Philly for the Lions. We'll see. They played them close last year. They actually played very well. High-scoring game. And the last pick of the first round, I got the Kansas City Chiefs going with Nolan Smith, edge from Georgia. Tough team to pick. They don't really have glaring needs. You can always use edge and defense of the Chiefs. They could be a wide receiver also. I said the Dolphins don't pick, so there's only 31 teams. So next, I'm going to try and find a site that I can actually print from. I'm going to do some research. I just wanted to get this one out before it gets too late. So that's about it, Bucky. At time. Oh, jeez. That's not too bad. Not too much to report. It stormed last night. The weather's nice. It's supposed to be in the upper 40s, maybe 50s. The snow is all gone, so, because it rained yesterday. Like I said, the combine starts this week. They get their medical checks and measurements and all that good stuff. Some players report, they're not going to do the drills. They just get their vitals and stuff, and that's fine. That's up to them. There's plenty of players, and it gives them more opportunity for them to shine, so that the big names are there. They don't want to risk getting injured. I totally understand that. Look at Wade and measure and all that good stuff, and there's plenty of tape on them, so they're not going to be, lost in the shuffle. So it's going to start in a couple days, and looking forward to that. I can watch that. A lot of things will change with the Lions. There'll be a lot of, free agent signing, trades. Jalen Ramsey's being mentioned. It's just a ton of, more cuts. So it's ever flowing. This is a very, very busy time of year, and we'll keep you informed as best I can. My other teams, Reds, they started spring training. I think they lost yesterday. It was a shock. Patrick Kane still hasn't been traded. He might not be traded till Saturday, what I've seen. So next video we'll have an update on that. And unfortunately, that's what happens. Hopefully they'll get a big, big haul. Rangers are the number one team that's been mentioned. They're looking for a third team to help take some of that salary cap away. He's a very high salary cap number. Taves won't be traded. I really doubt that. But Kane's playing very well. He's scoring the last few games. He's helping his cause, as they say, Bucky. But yeah, it's not time for him to go, but it's inevitable. And hopefully he can go into a Stanley Cup winning team. And it's on the East Coast. It's in New York. You really can't ask for too much more than that. And but he'll always be a Blackhawk, so I'm not worried about that either. All right, Bucky, it's about time. Yep. Hopefully this video will do well. And I'm still working on my wall. And we're going to get some more pictures tomorrow. And I don't know if I'll update you on that, but we'll keep you informed, see what's going on. Otherwise, there's not too much else. So for Mike C, of course, the start of the show, it's Bucky. Bucky says bye. Bucky says bye. With his helmet on, and enjoy the combine. And there'll be tons more drafts, and we'll figure this all out. And we'll catch you next week. So take care, everybody. Bye.